Hello, my friends. How are you? It's good to see you again. Donald Trump almost took steps last night to increase your grocery prices. Remember when he ran on lowering grocery prices? And you guys remember how we sold our daughters' rights out for egg prices? Yeah, I'm going to keep hammering that point home because that's the thing that happened. Anyways, as we know, Donald Trump ran on talking about how much he was going to improve the economy on day one, right? The brilliance of Donald Trump. And he was going to lower everyone's prices. Remember the heartwarming story he told us about groceries? About the time that he saw a poor old woman try to buy 3 apples and she couldn't afford all 3 because inflation's just so high. So she grabbed 2 of those apples, and she walked them back and she put them in the refrigerator, and that poor woman only went home with 1 apple. And other such bullshit stories that Donald Trump tells us. Last night, he almost started his trade war. And for me, for views, for building a channel, it's better if he does. But for us, it's better if he doesn't. So we got to talk about that, how he almost went to trade wars with Colombia, because Donald Trump, as you guys perfectly well know, he's not very bright. He kind of reminds me of growing up with the rednecks, right? A redneck be out there working on his pickup truck. He can't get the damn thing started. Eventually he gets frustrated and he goes, "Give me a fucking hammer, I'll fix this thing." And that normally ends up with shit being broken way more than it was. Somebody's probably crying. Yeah, it's pretty a traumatic story, isn't it? That's the way Donald Trump thinks about tariffs. He thinks that they're his hammer for everything, and he's just gonna beat the shit out of everything. So it looks like for now, crisis kind of averted. Don't worry, it will show its ugly head here pretty soon. But we're still going to talk about Donald Trump's absolute destruction to the working class, because that's my fucking job on this channel. Real quick, I wanted to say thank you for everyone on that last video. That was fucking nuts, how many people came in and watched the video. Glad you enjoyed. Hope you took a day to get to know me and watch some other videos. I tend to do that. If a video gets really big, gets a lot of views, I'll take the next day off for a couple reasons. Gives you a chance to look around, see if you actually like me. That's good, right? And me, well, I get a little bit of stage fright sometimes when that many people start showing up. I need a minute. I need to breathe through that when I need to think about what's happening to my life. So anyways, thank you everyone for everything you do to help support the channel. So let's get into this bullshit. Donald Trump last night did what every president should do, right? When they don't get their way, throw a big old man tantrum. That's what I look for in a president. When I'm like, man, what would make a really good president? A spoiled brat that has temper tantrums when he doesn't get his way. That's very presidential. So Colombia was refusing to take the what's the word for it? Somebody fucking help me. The people that are being deported from America to Colombia was refusing to take the Colombians back on the military aircrafts and with them shackled and chained up and all those things. And they said, hey, return our people to us. We understand that's what you have to do, but we want you to return them to us with some dignity. And at first, I'll be honest with you guys, when I think about these videos, I go through the motions in my head and kind of think about what's going on. And at first I'm thinking, is that a little bit petty? Now listen to me, hear me out before you get mad. Is that a little bit petty of Colombia to be saying that? And then of course I thought more about it, right? Remember, my friends, I'm half redneck. I'm born from the rednecks, right? So fucking sometimes I just can be sort of an unintentionally hateful person. That's what I meant to say. And I have to think about what I'm actually saying. And it's not petty. All right, they should be returned home with dignity. Look, if you want to spend the money and you want to deport people, there is no sense putting them in chains and shackles and making them look like they're absolutely dangerous criminals. Some of them maybe, I don't really fucking know, but we can't treat everybody like that. And I think that Colombia was right. Look, you can return them, but let's not do it this way. And for anybody that's saying that it's okay to chain people up, and I mean, there's times for that, but that's not what we're fucking talking about. Help me focus for a minute. Anybody that should be chained up and returned to their country looking like, you know, a very high risk prisoner, I think you're kind of fucked in the head. You shouldn't think about people like that. Think about if somebody were to demonize your group, whatever group you're in, and they started just putting your ass in chains all the time. You have to sometimes stop and think about their people are human. Everybody's people, right? And everybody deserves to be treated with respect. And they weren't necessarily wrong about that. I think they were just standing their ground, saying, hey, we're going to stand up to you. And that's the way that they saw to do it at the time. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a professional on foreign affairs, so that's just kind of the way I see it. So immediately Donald Trump says, I'm going to throw tariffs on Colombia. the dumb bastard, that dumb son of a bitch. And a lot of people, of course, first thing they go, oh, what are we going to go without our coffee? Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people drink coffee. I don't drink that shit. But a lot of people drink coffee, and obviously that's a big thing. But we import a lot of things from Colombia. I went and looked it up. That's what I do when I don't know what's going on in the world. I type it in my little Google box here, and I figure out what the fuck's going on. And it would have been obviously detrimental to us, maybe not detrimental, but harmful to us to enact tariffs on Colombia with the amount of things that we import from them. And then, of course, Colombia comes back, says, hey, we'll hit you with tariffs also, which was just about the start of our trade war that's going to really fuck America. Because what I think is going to happen, is other countries, other world leaders are going to get tired of Donald Trump saying, I'm just going to throw tariffs on it every time I don't get my fucking way. And they're either going to tariff the shit out of us, or they're just going to cut us out like, hey, just don't do business with America. They're being real dicks over there right now, so fuck them. And yeah, it's not real good for us, is it? From what I could gather from the mainstream media, I am very frustrated with left-wing media these days, the mainstream, because they bowed down. That's frustrating, isn't it? They were trying to report it as Colombia has agreed to all terms for this, but I guess there was something changed. Maybe the deportees, or however you would say, I'm not real good with words sometimes. Maybe I think they're being flown in on the presidential plane into Colombia or something like that. But some sort of negotiation was made. But I think it was CNN or MSNBC as being like, now we are respected on the world stage because Colombia just bowed down to Donald Trump. And I wish they would knock that shit off, but who am I to say? Anyways, with that, so far as I can tell, crisis averted with the tariffs between Colombia and America. And we got to stop, my more dumber American friends, we got to stop thinking that we live in this bubble where we're immune to things and we can just push the world around, because we do live in a global economy. And when you start doing a bunch of bullshit like that, it's us, the people, that get harmed in the process for every country involved, and it's fucking stupid. But for now, there won't be tariffs on Colombia as far as I understand it. But it made me think, Donald Trump's been in just about a week now. The fucking MAGA dorks were all over the comments. Remember the last video, how I set up the rules? Listen, under Joe Biden's presidency, everything that happened was Joe Biden's fault. I'm only applying your rules to your little cute game that we're playing here, all right? And Donald Trump, in his time in office so far, has done absolutely jack shit to help the working class Americans. You remember all those promises that he had? Look, I'm going to keep hammering the same points home over and over, because somebody's got to fucking get it at some point. You know, he did that interview with Hannity where he was asked about the economy, and he continued to say over and over that he does not care about that. So far, in Donald Trump's, the start to his administration, he has done absolutely jack shit to lower the cost of groceries. As a matter of fact, I don't really know what he's fucking done besides sign a bunch of absolutely psychotic executive orders. As we're going down a dark path, is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of shit that Donald Trump is up to. You know, the birthright citizenship thing. There's other things, but I can't point to a single thing he's done. And it's been a week. At least do something. He played golf. Like, he played golf while he didn't do anything to help you guys lower the grocery prices. But the point I'm trying to make, I can't think of a single thing he's done in his first week that has even been an attempt at lowering grocery prices for Americans. And there's nothing happening. Does anybody else see a fucking problem with that? Look, the reason that it's problematic is because Donald Trump, if you guys don't know, he's full of shit. I don't know if anyone else has picked up on that or if that's just me, but the guy is a fucking liar. And he is all bluster, right? Always talking about what he can do. But when it's time for Donald Trump to actually do something, he plays golf. That's nice, isn't it? I can't even afford to play golf. I could probably afford to play golf, but I would look silly playing golf. For one, it's hard to get a left-handed club. That's a whole fucking thing. And then I did Top Golf once, and well, they have beer at Top Golf, and I don't remember playing much of Top Golf that night, if I'm being honest with you, but that's not the point. Donald Trump has already went out to play golf within his first week in office. And I don't know how middle-class America, like working-class America, looks at Donald Trump and goes, hell yeah, that's my guy right there because he really relates to us. Really? That wasn't relatable to me in the least. I think I got about 2 more weeks in the truck before I finally take a weekend off. And I will have been in my truck for a total of 1 month before I get to take a weekend off. Look, don't cry for me. What I'm saying is Donald Trump gets to play golf while he's supposed to be relating to me, the average American. Well, I got to fucking plan out a month in advance to get a fucking weekend off. It doesn't sound like he understands the plight of the working class, even a fucking little bit. But what I'm trying to say, I distract myself quite a bit, is I do not see anything that has helped the prices come down in America since Donald Trump has taken office. Now, one of his executive orders had something to do with opening up federal lands or offshore to oil drilling. I don't think that does a whole lot because we drilled a lot of fucking oil under Joe Biden and the prices were dropping pretty good. Hey, you know what? If he lowers fuel prices, fine, I'll give him that. But as of right now, nothing has happened. And everything that he has done has been harmful to the everyday American as far as prices at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and everything go. Mass deportation, 75% last I heard of field workers are just not showing up to do their job. How the fuck does that lower prices? It doesn't. That's the answer. It fucking doesn't. Also, the threats of tariffs. The threats of tariffs, and those tariffs are coming. In some form or another, we're going to see tariffs. We are going to see the small business owners of America, we're already starting to see stories of it, but the ones that voted to fuck over their competition, right? Oh, if I vote for Donald Trump, those tariffs are really going to fuck that guy over there. We're seeing them getting more and more concerned about them being able to keep their businesses alive. And for anybody that voted to fuck over their competition, you needed the government to do it for you. I'm happy to watch your business go under. I think it should. I feel sorry for the people that understood what was coming and voted the right way, and they have to lose their business too. Obviously, that fucking sucks. That really sucks. I was talking to someone on the phone today, and they said, well, maybe if they learn the hard way, they will vote better in the future. No, you don't get it. Like, I don't mean to be a dick, but like, they have an out every time they make poor fucking decisions. They go, the Democrats did it, Joe Biden did it, and they will never ever hold Donald Trump accountable for the bullshit that Donald Trump does. And even worse than that, these are not the hillbillies I was raised with, my friends. They will take no responsibility whatsoever for their actions. They will just blame everyone else. It's everyone else's fault that this is happening. But I guess the point of this video is, as of right now, there is no trade war with Colombia. I wish Donald Trump knew other words besides tariff. I wish he had other things in his toolbox that he could use to communicate with other world leaders, because we are going to find out that this, I think most of us know, but the tariffs on everyone every time you get mad about something is probably not the way to go, and the world is going to get real sick of our shit real soon, and unfortunately, we are the collateral damage in that, my friends. And hey, you know, when people can't afford to feed themselves because of Donald Trump's policies, I'd like to be optimistic and say that we all learned something from it. But I've been American long enough to understand that we don't learn shit, do we? We never quite figure it out, do we? All right, well, all right, I gotta go. Bye now.